Yeah, obviously a difficult performance. A lot of frustration there. I think congratulations to San Antonio. They do what they do very, very well. Thought we struggled in transition. We had a lot of guys struggling physically, which dictated a little bit of our shape on the night. When you look at the goals that we conceded, I think that's a really bad time. Obviously, to concede a penalty, I thought it was really harsh. Um, but that's out of our control. I thought we came out in the second half and started a little bit brighter for the first five minutes, and then obviously concede two and three, and makes it difficult. But for me, extremely proud of this group of men, what they've done this season. The support tonight from our fans was incredible, given the distance to travel. Um, Obviously, really, really disappointed, but still a really, really proud manager of what this group has accomplished this year.
Obviously, early the penalty there, but it seemed like you were starting to get back in the game toward the end of the first half, and then you get dealt with another penalty. Just can you kind of talk through the flow of the game and where you maybe felt like it got away a little bit from you all?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much of a flow. Like I said, San Antonio does what they do very, very well. They make the game choppy. We talked about disruption all week. And I did feel we were getting back into it, and I think the penalty at that time, it's a difficult one to swallow. I think we've dealt with this type of adversity before this season. Going into halftime, we made some adjustments. I felt those adjustments early on there affected the game positively. But again, we get hit in transition, and we give up the second one, and that makes it difficult to. Sorry, that makes it difficult in that moment. So um, I felt that on the night we weren't great with the ball as we have been all season. And at the end of the day, we lose tonight. But again, I try not to just look at this result and let it dictate how I feel about the entire season, because what this group did this year was special.
Down the stretch of the season, I mean, you did have injuries, and I think that it's safe to say that impacted your lineup and your decision making tonight. I mean, how much does it? Yeah, I don't know. Frustration is the right word. That you couldn't maybe put out the team that you wish you could at this point in the season, and after what you all have been through.
Yeah, I think. Listen, this was a difficult week. I think on Wednesday it was. We had 13 players healthy for training. We had, we weren't sure how many minutes Ryan could give us. We didn't even think Wilson was going to play any minutes until early this morning. But we've been dealing with injuries all season. I think I don't ever want to make excuses. At the end of the day, we lose the game tonight, but it certainly dictated some decisions with regard to shape and lineup tonight.
All right, we'll go to any questions. Eric, you can go ahead and go.
Danny, we talked about it before, but you had just come through so much just to get to this point. And even when you went down a goal and had a lot of things, injuries and stuff working against you, did you see the same response from your guys that we've seen the last couple of games in the playoffs, where they're coming full on no matter what? I think that probably typifies this team, and just your thought on their spirit and really just even getting to this point.
Yeah, I think, like I've said, this has been an incredible group this season. And what they have so much to be proud of. I think when we go down that goal there late in the first half. There was still belief in the locker room like we've had all season. We just wanted to make a few adjustments and felt and obviously at that point we knew we could bring Brian on and he was comfortable going 45 minutes. And I think when I have evaluated the group all season, we've done an excellent job dealing with adversity. And I thought tonight, obviously, going down the way that we did, there was frustration for sure. But to get a goal back and continue to push, I think that's kind of the belief that you're talking about. And while the bounces didn't go our way there later in the second half, I still felt that the guys were leaving everything that they could on the field.
We'll go to Brooks and then Tyler.
Hi, Coach. Just wanted to get your thoughts on, you talked a little bit about, just getting the offense generated by by subbing in Brian. How was he able to get the offense going there in the second half when you guys weren't able to get a shot on target there in the first?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job of finding the space. And Antonio was man oriented, like we talked about all week, and the idea for was at the minimum to get us to halftime before we looked to change the shape because we knew the first half was going to look the way that it did. There was 70 long balls and us having to deal with movement in behind, and we thought being able to have three center backs there and three central midfielders would give us a good chance to be able to deal with those transitional moments. When Brian comes in, we change the shape to a back four. The idea was try to exploit the fact that they were man-oriented, so to move and manipulate their outside center backs. I thought he did a really, really good job of that, and it opened up some space there for Manny to operate on the right-hand side. I would say for the most part, the ideas were there. The execution was obviously poor on the night.
Hey, Danny, you guys are obviously a club that prides itself on a tradition and a culture. There's been a lot of great LouCity teams. What did this team show to put itself among those groups throughout a tough year where you guys had to battle through injuries and make some crazy comebacks to even get to this spot?
Yeah, I think it was I thought it was incredible how we dealt with those moments. I thought a lot of guys stepped up through difficult times. When the number was called, they came in and did an excellent job for us. We've talked all year about making sure that, we don't take a day for granted. We had a lot of guys that their seasons ended early, guys that have played a lot of minutes and played important roles for this club in the past. And I think when you look at the integration of the young guys and what they've done, and that to me is something we as a club should be really, really proud of. And while I'm telling you, nobody's certainly walking out of here with a smile on their face. As I said, to the players in there, I want everybody to walk out with their chest up and their chest out and their head held high, because you still have a lot to be proud of.
Danny, I think we're good. Thanks for your time.